I'm going to go with Michigan on this one. I think in the national landscape, I understand us as Michigan fans. We're expecting to be 10-2, 9-3 this year, and that was completely fine with us because we were starting a freshman quarterback. What if I would have told you in 2023 that you missed the college football playoff in 24 and 25 in an expanded field? That was never going to be okay with us. Missing it 2 years in a row is unacceptable to me as a fan. You do have to temper your expectations because of what we've gone through. Dave, this is the USC game is not good enough. The Oklahoma game, it sucked, but it was like an early season thing, so I kind of got it. But to be left out in the cold 2 years in a row like this, I'm not okay with it. And so I think the pressure is firmly on Michigan. And I think Sharon Moore's got to step up and win this one. Step up and win this one.
Welcome on into Garage Takes. It is here. It is the game. It is the week. If you're a college football fan, regardless if you're a Michigan fan, Ohio State fan, this is what you wait for all year, and it's here. It's rivalry week, and Michigan will host Ohio State at noon, big noon kickoff. College game day will be at the Big House. If you haven't done so already, do us a huge favor: hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hop in the comment section down below. Let us know what you're thinking about this game, your overall vibe check, whether you're a Michigan fan, Ohio State fans. We reluctantly welcome you to the podcast, but in all honesty, we want to know what your guys' thoughts are, your takes are on this game, where things stand, where these two programs stand, and how important this game is to each team and program individually. So, Brandon, I want to start things off by let's recap just real quick. Michigan, yes, they had the Maryland game. It was a primer game for this Ohio State game, and I want to know your overall thoughts on that. It was certainly better than what we've been seeing against Northwestern, Purdue, Michigan State. It was a lot better. Your overall thoughts on that? Does it even matter at this point?
Yeah, I think it matters. I think Maryland, while not a top tier Big Ten team, I think you can put them in the middle class of Big Ten teams. They certainly post a couple different things. One of them is a mobile quarterback that, Dave, we talked about it earlier. He's a mobile quarterback, but he also throws it, and they threw it a ton on Saturday. So a great warm up for the secondary there. And I thought our defense responded really well. I thought Maryland did some things early in that game. The scripted drive that came out and got him a touchdown, that was concerning. But other than that, once they started to just settle in and play football, Michigan dominated that football game. And that's what we needed to see. I think offensively there were things that were clean. And Dave, we have been asking all year for clean football, and we didn't get it very often. And we finally got clean football. And I think that's my biggest takeaway, Dave, is when you're having a dress rehearsal right before Ohio State, just like last year against Northwestern, the best execution, no formation penalties, make sure you're not having bus coverages, stuff like that. We didn't see any of that. And that is really, really good to see right before the game.
Yeah, I think that, yes, it was the best case scenario for Michigan. I think if you look historically, even over the last few years, this game before the game doesn't actually matter. I mean, Michigan tends to struggle the game before the game, and outside of last year, really, they have had their struggles, whether that was against Maryland or Northwestern, whomever. They've had their issues. So, yes, it was nice. I think it was nice to finally play a clean football game outside of one poor throw by Bryce Underwood that he was lucky was not a pick six. It was a very clean football game. And that's exactly what's got to happen this week hosting Ohio State. And I want to go there, Brant. I mean, obviously this is it. This is what both programs play for each and every year. Michigan has got to win this game to make the 12-team college football playoff. Ohio State's in no matter what, but they most definitely have to make this to make the Big Ten championship game for the first time since 2020. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal for Ryan Day. It's a big deal for Sharon Moore, this coaching staff. And, Brent, for me, I think about the two things that have me most concerned as a Michigan fan. It's not the youth. It's not a true freshman quarterback, because Julian Sain, a redshirt freshman as well. It's not like he has a crazy ton more experience than Bryce Underwood. But for me, it's two things. One is the turnovers. I think you look at this game, and it is each and every year who makes less mistakes, who plays a cleaner football game. And I guess I would lump penalties into that as well, Brant, like with the turnovers. You mentioned they played a clean football game. It's got to happen. I think the team that plays the cleanest football game tends to win this game. And the second thing, I guess, is for me as a Michigan fan, is special teams. We have not seen a lot of Hudson Hollenbeck over these last couple of weeks. Michigan has not punted the ball a ton, but it's been a major issue all year. And just because we haven't seen it the last couple of weeks doesn't mean it's not going to rear its ugly head here on Saturday at noon. And I think it's a very big deal, actually. Special teams has been a major weakness of this team. This year in particular, Dominic Zavada, who's been your guy. I mean, he was supposed to be Mr. Consistency, the guy you count on. He has not had a good year. He's got a little bit of the yips or whatever that is as a kicker. He's going through it right now. I love the kid. Think he's going to be just fine overall, but it hasn't been a good year. You add in the Michigan's punting struggles and how big of a deal this field position is in a game like this. Michigan's they've got to get it together, and I do think that if that is not, if Hollenbeck is struggling punting the football and Michigan makes a couple of just errant, just dumb penalties or trying to get up the field on a third down and you extend their drive, or Bryce Underwood tries to make something out of nothing and throws a pick, you can't have it. Outside of those two things, I think when you look at the intangibles, the things that you can't put in a box score, the things that you can't quantify, if you will, I feel like Michigan checks all of the boxes. I don't think the pressure's on Michigan. I don't. I mean, Michigan has won this game 4 times in a row. This is a very young football team. No Ohio State fans. I'm not paving the way to say it doesn't matter if we lose. Of course it matters if we lose. My point is, this is not supposed to be the year of Michigan football. Neither was last year. But guess what? What gave this program life? What gave this program energy heading into this year? It was beating Ohio State, the commitment of Bryce Underwood, which led to a beating of Alabama in the bowl game, and we see where we're at this year. It has not been a perfect season for this Michigan football team, but they sit at 9-2 with everything in front of them and a chance to go beat Ohio State. And so, Brant, I want to know your thoughts on this game. What Michigan's going to have to do to get it done, and what you think might get in the way if they don't get it done.
Dave, this might be the first time that I can remember in the last 4 years, at least specifically, that I'm not sure Michigan has the trench warfare advantage here. I think that Ohio State's really strong in the trenches, and I think one of the things that I have as a takeaway is Ohio State's not going to beat you like how it happened in 2018 and 2019. How they just ran away from you with big plays, explosive plays. That's not really the football that they're playing, that they've played all year. I honestly think that they want to try to pound it down Michigan's throat, which they have a better opportunity to do this year. Michigan's defensive line has been a disappointment, Dave. Like I think that it's fair to say at this point, they have been a little bit underwhelming, and I don't think anybody has flashed on that defensive line to be, an all-star, Dave. And it's been a problem. Do you see Derek Moore taking a game over? Like, do you see? I mean, maybe it happens, but we haven't seen it necessarily yet. So I think we have good players on that front, but I think that Ohio State's right there with us. And defensively overall, they probably have a top 5 draft pick right now in Arvell Reese. I mean, that guy's an absolute game wrecker, and he does the hybrid linebacker thing and the edge thing, but so does Jay Sean Parham. I think he's the one that if anybody pops, Dave, it could be him. So I think that when you look at Ohio State's offensive line, Dave, really good. This isn't an offensive line of the past, Dave, that they just want to go out and pass block. No, these guys are going to road grade. So I think it'll be an interesting game up front. I think Ohio State has a little bit of advantage on the lines, and I think as far as throwing the ball, I think Ohio State has a bit of an advantage there too. But I don't think it's been like in years past where they have a major advantage. I think that they are closer than people would like to think. And then I think defensively, Dave, I like that you talked about the turnovers. I think that Michigan's got to be opportunistic against a guy like Sayan. I think you've got to rattle him a bit. I think if you can get an early pick, if you can get an early turnover, even if it's a fumble, I think Michigan's got to be aggressive defensively. And I think that Wink will be aggressive, hopefully not to our downfall. But I really think I want to see Wink go after it this game. I want to see guys trying to get turnovers. I want to see raking at the ball. Uh, Dave, we both have looked at the forecast. We know what's coming this weekend. It's going to be a sloppy, snowy, rainy, wet, cold game. That plays into Michigan's favor, though. Still, I think that's still to Michigan's major advantage. It may not be specifically to Bryce Underwood's advantage, but I don't know if we have fully unlocked Bryce's legs yet, and I do want to see that this weekend.
Yeah, I think that my take on Bryce Underwood is he doesn't need to be the reason that you win this game, but he needs to be a contributing reason as to why you win this game. It is not life or death on rested on Bryce Underwood. And I know for people that are tuning into this video that haven't watched Michigan all year, the stories about Bryce Underwood, how much Michigan paid him, the true freshman, you never seen a freshman like me, all of these things. But the fact of the matter is Bryce Underwood needs to play mistake-free football. He needs to be who he is, and that also includes his legs, like you said, Brant. I mean, we've seen glimpses of it. We've seen what he can do, and I think there's more there. This would be the game to do it. I'm also not of the belief that you don't play 11 games all year and then all of a sudden just flip the switch on and all of a sudden, Bryce Underwood's running for 100 yards. It's not going to be that, but he absolutely has the ability. I think the biggest bright spot for Michigan right now on the offensive side of the football is Andrew Marsh. I know we talked about him last week. He is a budding superstar. He is, and there's no other way to put that right now. Nobody will convince me otherwise. And I mean, clearly everybody knows what Ohio State brings, whether that is Jeremiah Smith or Cardinal Tate, Max Clare. Like we know who these guys are. Innis, I mean, you name it. But ultimately, Michigan got a little bit of their own too, and I think we've seen more of that recently, which has been really nice. And the other, I think, is going to be the biggest factor of this game, Brandon. The reason why Michigan could be a reason why Michigan wins this football game. I don't think it's going to be if Michigan wins this game. I don't think it's going to be a Bryce Underwood headline. I think it's going to be number 23. I think it's Jordan Marshall. I think Jordan Marshall, he's putting it all out there right now. Anybody who's tuned in to the interviews and what's going out there, he's not saying, "Oh, I hate those guys and we'll never lose to Ohio State." It's not that kind of talk. But he's putting it out there. Why he didn't commit to Ohio State. Why this program does mean so much to him. Why he is a team first guy. He just has that look and feel of like a Blake Corum. Like he's going to show up in this game, hurt or not. We know Jordan Marshall's not 100%. But if Jordan Marshall comes in at 75, 80%, he's still going to give you 100, 110%. And I think that in a game like this, the game where the toughest guys tend to step up, where Michigan has won this game, and I agree with you, Brant. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be in the trenches this game. I mean, you've got several freshmen or redshirt freshmen on this offensive line. On the defensive line, you don't replace guys like Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant that kind of snuck you into a 13-10 win last year. But I do think there's that who wants it a little bit more, who's a little bit tougher. And to me, that's Jordan Marshall.
Yeah, Dave, I got a couple. Of questions for you. Then let's end this one on like a fun note. So let's do over under Jordan Marshall yards in this game. Actually, let's do collective yards. Let's put it at 120
Oh, 120 yards for Jordan Marshall?
collectively. Yeah, receiving
Yeah,
and rushing.
I'll take the over on that. I think Jordan Marshall, this is going to be his day. I do. I think I can see him going for 140, 150, a touchdown, maybe
Mich-
two touchdowns. I do.
Mi-
And I'm trying to, Ohio State fans, please, I understand. I will take off the the blue goggles here in a second, but he's just got that. He's what you guys don't want to see. Let me put it that
Yeah.
way. He is what you don't want to see. He is. He's going to bring it, man. I do. I just believe that he's going to be the guy. And I'm not saying Michigan is going to win this game, but if they do, this will be a Jordan Marshall game.
If Michigan turns it over 2 times, can they win this game?
No. Nope. I think anything more than 1 turnover for Michigan, it's a death sentence. I just think what we haven't talked about is this Ohio State team. This Ohio State team is very good, and so was last year. I understand, but Brant, what did Michigan win last year? The turnover battle, right? This team is somehow, some way better than last year's team. They are.
Let's do this one because this is always an interesting one to me. Do you want to see Bryce Underwood throw the ball over 25 times or under 25 times?
I think he's going to have to throw it somewhere between 25 and 30 times.
I love it. I love you not being scared of. Let's at least we have to put it in the air. Like we still have to get Marsh the ball. We still have to get McCauley the ball. We got to work the tight ends. Like this still has to be a Bryce Underwood moment, even though, like you said, it needs to be a controlled moment, but it still needs to be a moment from him to where he's still controlling this offense. And he's controlled it all year. So I do believe that he can do it. Can't have 5 turnovers like Northwestern. You can't miss 2 field goals. You can't do any of that and expect to win a football game. But
you can't try to be a hero, man, in these moments. It's like you want to be, and trust me, do I want to see Bryce roll out in a tough situation and sling a sidearm pass and hit Andrew Mark? Of course I do. But you know what? In a game like this, I don't need Bryce to be a hero. I need him to execute, to stand tall in that pocket, and to make the right read when they're calling his number, to make those calls.
All right, Dave, my last one, and I know this is going to bug you, but does somebody else throw a pass besides Bryce Underwood in this game?
Oh, God. I'm going to tell you right now, I need no... What does Obi Trice say? Obi Trice. No gimmicks. I need no gimmicks, man. I need the Obi Trice. Not this game. And look, I know it's worked in the past. I know Michigan likes to do it. Not this year. This team has not shown me that they are good enough, that they are experienced enough, and that they can execute well enough on a consistent basis to pull out all stops and do something like this in a game of this magnitude. And again, unless you are up 14 and things are feeling real sexy, real confident in Ann Arbor, and you want to try something stupid, I don't need to see it, man. If this is a 3-point game, 7-point game, and Michigan is doing some reverse thing, you're trying to get, flick it back to Andrew Mark. Like I need nothing like that, dude. Nothing.
I am betting that Bryce Underwood catches a pass in this game. That's all I'm going to say on it.
I hate that.
And
I will bet we lose.
But I honestly, and I'll flip it this way, Dave. Over the past 4 years that we've won this game, I don't think Ohio State has even tried a fake punt. I don't think they've tried any sort of trick play. Like they have been so vanilla with everything that they've done that I would be, if I'm Michigan, I would be on high alert for anything like that this weekend. Coming off the national championship, I'm thinking Ryan Day probably feels a little bit like the pressure's off. He's not going to be so tight. I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio State throws everything and the kitchen sink at us this weekend.
Brant, my final question is this then. Who's got more pressure to win this game? Is it Ohio State coming off of losing 4 straight in this, but also coming off of winning a national championship? Or is it Michigan coming off of 4 straight wins, but needing to win this game to extend their season into meaningful football, which is to make the college football playoff?
I liked your point earlier about Ohio State having the pressure on them, Dave, but I'm going to go with Michigan on this one. I think in the national landscape, I understand us as Michigan fans. We're expecting to be 10-2, 9-3 this year, and that was completely fine with us because we were starting a freshman quarterback. What if I would have told you in 2023 that you missed the college football playoff in 24 and 25 in an expanded field? That was never going to be okay with us. And we said we might take a step back in 24. Missing it 2 years in a row is unacceptable to me as a fan. And you do have to temper your expectations because of what we've gone through. But Dave, the USC game is not good enough. And the Oklahoma game, it sucked, but it was like an early season thing, so I kind of got it. But, to be left out in the cold 2 years in a row like this, I'm not okay with it. And so I think the pressure is firmly on Michigan. And I think Sharon Moore's got to, dude, step up and win this one. Like, step up and win this one. Dave, you know what? One more question. Let's get a prediction. Let's get a prediction from both of us because I think we need to get there. So let's do it. You go first.
All right, here's the thing, guys. I think that ultimately, if this game is not close, it is because Ohio State won by 2 touchdowns plus. I think if this game is close, I think Michigan wins. And so for that, I will say Michigan wins this game in Ann Arbor on I don't want to say a walk-off Dominic Zavada field goal, but something in the last 2 minutes of the game where Michigan wins this one 23-21 in Ann Arbor in a close one, 5 in a row. The flurries are coming down and put it out there, man. That's what I feel. I think if you would have asked me, I know this sounds dumb, but even a week ago, 2 weeks ago, probably had a different prediction, but vibes are pretty good right now, so why not? Yeah, let's. I can't actually get on this Garage Takes podcast and actually pick Ohio State to win. That's what it boils down to. Ohio State's a better team. They've got more talent, more experience. They've got all the juice coming off a national championship, 11-0 for a reason. They're the best team in college football. But look, in a close one, nitty gritty, cold weather, Julian Sain, the California kid coming to Ann Arbor. Yeah, man, give me go blue all the way. What about you?
I'm going to go 21-27 Michigan. I think that Michigan gets some sort of
Okay.
bone
Okay.
crushing 8-minute drive to end this thing that's just methodical. A lot of snow's flying, and it's a 4 yard run after a 5 yard run. It's a Bryce rollout for a 4 yard pass. Like, I think that at the end of the day, you're going to see some tired legs, some cold legs, and can you just lean on them enough? I talked about not having exactly a major trench advantage, but I think when it comes down to it being what the weather's going to be, I think it's 27-21 Michigan.
There you go. You have it. And look, Ohio State fans, we already know. If this is your podcast, I already know who you're picking, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. But tell me why. Why ultimately is this game different than the last four? I want to hear it. Hop in the comment section down below. And Michigan fans, talk your game. This is it right now. This is what this week is all about, talking about the game. Why does Michigan win? If they do win, and if not, if you're just like, look, I watched them all 11 games this year. This ain't the year to beat Ohio State. Tell us why. As always, hit that subscribe button, hop in the comment section down below. And look, we look forward to catching you guys next week as we talk about the results of the game. Go Blue.